Hey, good evening everybody. This is Kat, aka Stitching Out Loud, here on YouTube and on Ravelry and Instagram. I just wanted to do, this is actually, I'm doing this more for my, I guess, like a video diary or video journal, really, because the other day I came out and it seemed like some of the plants needed to be watered, so I went ahead and did some watering, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things I had, which I should have, if I would have thought about it, I should have taken a video of the way the plants were before I took them apart. Well, not took them apart, but unpotted them, took them out of the pots they were in and repotted them. These little guys right here, these are my pink moonstones. I feel so horrible because look, this stupid squirrel, I caught him today being nosy around my plants. I guess he was trying to see if they were edible and took a bite out of a few of these leaves. And he did not succeed in actually, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but so totally bummed, and I don't know what this is. That looks like a blister. Anyways, I watered these not last night but the night before, because it was actually it hasn't rained in a while here, so I wanted to make sure nothing was gonna dry up or anything. But sorry about that. I had those in this pot, and I had the this rock. This is actually, these little brown pebbles are actually fish tank rocks. Initially I thought it was a good idea just to, as a decoration and to help keep too much moisture from getting into the to keep moisture to help keep moisture from getting into the dirt between waterings. And I actually had that backwards. I don't know if there was a video where I mentioned that, where I was talking about the rocks. And I mean, it's great for keeping the dirt in the pots. Unfortunately, I think I had it backwards, and it actually keeps the moisture inside the pots between waterings. And this dirt, when I didn't think that I watered it that much, but this dirt is like completely soaked all the way down. So I don't know what happened. I didn't think that I watered it that much, but this dirt is like really, really wet. So when I came out here and I was just I was being nosy, poking around in my plants, and I actually had to I don't know if one of the little plants that I had that I was trying to regrow from a stem, it was something I got at Walmart, and I believe it was the Echeveria gonzo, or no, it might have been a Graptosedum. Anyways, I saw the stem look like it was waterlogged, so I took it out of the dirt, and I actually had it in the dirt. It was a little tiny one, and I had rocks on top, just like this. And when I pulled it out, it was just soaking wet. So just from, not last night, but the night before when I watered it, the stem had already started to get soft and mushy. So I took it out, and I tried to pull off the little bitty tiny, it didn't have any roots, but I tried to pull off the little tiny pieces that were actually growing on it. It looked like a baby that was coming out, and it didn't have any roots, and it just fell apart. So I lost that one. So when I started poking around at the other plants, I noticed this one. When I went to pick it up, this thing was super heavy, so I knew that it was soaking wet. So I went ahead and took them out and repotted them, and everything that I have now, these, because they're just paper cheap things, and I'm using them like temporary planters until they grow big enough, and then I can put them in a terracotta pot. I don't put rocks in them or anything, so, and that's a good thing, because I think it would just hold too much water. But I also think that this paper really helps to keep the moisture levels down, so I can water them and not worry about them getting too waterlogged. And the same thing with my little black prince. He kind of looks sad. He just looks really sad. He was actually in this little pot here, this little pot that it came in. Well, I take that back. He actually came in a square one, and I repotted it to this round one, and I had rocks on top of it, and when I picked it up, it was just soaking wet as well. So I knew I had to get him out and put him in. I just put them in these temporary ones to hopefully save them. Now I'm worried about this leaf right here, because look, it's got a black spot down there so I don't know what's going to happen with that. I just hope they survive. These little guys. These are the only ones I noticed that, because I went and I just took my finger and like poked around down and underneath, even down, like the ones that still had rocks. I poked my finger down in there to see if it was soaking wet or if it was at least drying up. Most of them, all of them were drying up, thank goodness. But I think I'm actually going to go through and take out the rocks. I mean, it seems like, and I can hear, if Andrea watches this, Andrea, who owns the channel Sucks For You, if she watches this, I could probably hear her yelling at me going, yes, yeah, take out the rocks. Get pumice, which I plan on doing, either pumice or this expanded shale. Let me show you this. This on top is expanded shale, and it's pretty much like pumice as well. It soaks up all the moisture around the plant, and it's a good medium to mix with your soil, from what I hear. That's what I've been told. So expanded shale, or it's also called soil mender, if you're interested in looking it up. So I just wanted to do this short video to talk about these pots and the rocks. Now, I think it's a matter of preference and balance on what kind of pots you use and what kind of covering or decorative rocks that you use. I would suggest, now that I've learned my lesson, I would suggest going with pumice. And I can't really recommend the expanded shale personally, because I haven't actually used it, but that's what my desert rose is in. I think that's the only plant that I bought from that guy, and I spoke with him about this. Now, I don't know if it's because the desert rose needs so much more airy and dry soil. That's the only thing I could figure with that. But I'm guessing it would be great for any other cactuses and especially any other cacti and succulents. Especially if you live in Houston, where the humidity can get really high, and when it rains and the air just stays wet and humid for, like a week or so. I think the expanded shale or the pumice would work really well for our region. So let me. One of the things I wanted to point out is that now he told me, the guy that I bought this from, my Desert Rose, he told me don't even bother with terracotta pots. He said just get plastic ones, because the plastic ones, first of all, they're a lot lighter, but that to me that didn't really mean anything. I didn't care about that. But second, because the terracotta, when you go to water your plants, it tends to soak up the water. So if you notice, whenever you're actually watering your plants, the terracotta gets wet. If you're pouring water into the plant, the terracotta gets wet on the outside. And let me see if now that big one, like, well, you can see a ring right here. This is a amaryllis that I'm trying to save. It got ants in it really bad over the winter or whatever, but you can see there's still moisture here on the terracotta pot. So it soaks away, according to him, it soaks away the moisture from the plant. And he said, well, you don't want that, because you want your plant to be able to get water before it actually takes away. You want your plant to get water before it's just gone and the terracotta soaks it up, which kind of made sense. But in a case like this, I don't know. Well, first of all, I love terracotta, so I wouldn't necessarily agree with him. I feel like if you're going to use some kind of top decorative rock, use a terracotta pot, because then that extra moisture will be soaked up through or dried up through the terracotta, and you could still have the decorative rocks on top, and you don't have to, because all of these plants that actually had the decorative rocks like this, the soil feels fairly dry on top. Now this is from my personal experience, just over the past couple of days. Yeah, even like this one actually has, I actually put a pretty deep layer of rocks on that, and the soil, yeah, the soil, it feels a little damp, but not soaked like the other ones were. Like here is the that's the one that my little black prince came out of, and it's like totally soaked. And that's not all. Here's the little ganjo that I was trying to grow, and it had the little, I don't know if y'all remember, it had a little plant or a little bloom that was coming out. Not a bloom, but a baby that was growing, and I kept saying it looked like a butt. Yeah, this, over the couple of days, this is what happened to it. This is all mushy. And when I tried to take the little babies off, what I should have done was cut it and just try to grow it from right here. Just cut it right here and then leave the baby on it and hope that it would grow roots. But that's, you know, hindsight. So, but yeah, and I really started poking around because I saw this. Those are my campfires. These poor things are just bent over, and I'm gonna have to replant those. I'm not sure why. I think really it just needs more direct sunlight is all that it needs. So yeah. So I just wanted to, and see, most of these that I have in the little paper cups here, the soil is almost completely dry already. Now I don't know about way down in the very bottom, but just poking it here on top, all of this soil is already dry. So yeah, I guess it's, you know, it's a live and learn thing, trial and error. So just because somebody tells you one thing doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to work for you. You might take a couple of losses before you really find out what works best for you and best for your area where you're at. Here's the other This is actually another my other campfire. So it came with 4 plants when I bought it. I only ordered 1, but it came with 4 plants. These are doing really well. They're not growing as tall as the others, but they're doing really well. They're not red like they show in the pictures, but I don't care. I still love them. I think they're beautiful. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Really watch after you've watered your plants. Really watch them the next day and the day after, and make sure that they're actually drying up like they should be. Don't do like I did and just think that everything is going to be okay and end up losing a plant. Or I could have lost these 3 right here. So anyways, I just want to share that with you guys. Okay, everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow probably, because I should be getting a box from Young's Nursery in Oregon, and we'll see what happens. Also, I get paid tomorrow, so I will probably be ordering some more succulents that I found online that I have been wanting to get. So yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.